Hey, double horn salute. I've been doing a few of these videos. Like I say up front, I would write a book if I could, but why? I just format some stories to this YouTube thing and let it hang from there. It's kind of my experiences with the Army back in 1983-84. There's no crispy critters, decapitated heads, burned down villages, massacres of women and children, napalm and machine guns and Claymore Mountain. It just didn't happen. Okay, but now I've talked about some experiences that I'd had while I was in the service, but there's some benefits to serving after you're out. Now, I'm going to throw in a couple stories. I did some time with the Young Marines program, but that's a whole nother thing because that involved my stepdaughter. That's a whole nother topic down the road. I got another video maybe. So now I went in as an infantryman, and I knew that the skills that I would learn in the infantry would help me later in life. I just had a weird premonition about this all through my life. So all growing up, I knew I was going to go into the military. I wanted to be infantry. I mean, I would not sign a paper unless I was going to be infantry. So I went through all the training and all that, and I survived time in a unit, and I was eventually discharged. There's a couple times in my life where I think that training paid off. Now, I'm not talking about killing people or doing this, but there's just some instincts, some survivability, and sometimes you got to be so brutally hard about things, and God, I hate that person. I really do. There's a certain brutality that you learn, and sometimes you just got to be that way, and like I say, I really hate that person inside me, and I do everything I can to keep that down. It's ugly. Sometimes I've had to make some brutal choices in my life, and to this day, it still pains me. Well, anyway, I think the first thing that happened is after I got out, it was easy to get jobs. Because I went in the military, I could get jobs. Sometimes I'd be in a pickle. All I had to do was point at my jump wings, and sometimes I'd get out of a jam, get a handshake and all that, and sometimes I'd get a job. Sometimes these jump wings and this tattoo, I would have to wear long sleeves at work because I was discriminated against. Yeah, they discriminate against your jump wings. It doesn't matter. It's just a tattoo to them, and it needs to be covered up. Fucking pricks. I'd learned how to take some abuse. I sold professional cars for a while, and Jesus Christ, I got my ass tore up one side and down the other. You could sell two cars, go in there, and still the owner of the fucking Ford dealership will rip you a fucking ass because I wanted somebody's radio to work. They're going to spend $4,500 on a car. I wanted to take care of them, make sure the radio worked, and got an ass chewing from hell. That's, military can give you, and you sit there and think, I've been chewed out by better people, prick. So anyway, when my mother was shot, this happened February 6, 1988, when my mother was shot. I'd already done a bunch of videos of that, but when I got upstairs and I saw the guy in the door with the gun, it was at ported arms, when those instincts just jumped in, I seen like in my mind's eye the guy with the beret, and I turned around and I had 1,000 thoughts a minute. I tensed up, and it just, all that Army training just tensed to the fight or flight thing, and I got out of the house. I was going to run as far as I could, and I survived that incident. And I think, again, there's videos, and I'm not going to go through the whole deal, but I think my reactions to what had happened that day, to where there's a guy in the house just blasted my mom. I'm going to possibly fucking die in the next couple minutes, and I'm going to do everything I can to survive. And I just saw in my mind's eye this guy with a beret making 1,000 decisions at once. Then I ended up homeless for a while, almost damn near a year. And I was in my 30s, and I was on meth. I was having a hard time with my ex-wife. I couldn't hold a job, and one thing led to another, and I thought I was Mad Max. And I decided to live in a car for a while. I lived in an 85 T-Bird. It was like April to January, and it does get cold. And I had to drive everywhere. I had to work a full-time job, and I had to drive here to get clothes. I had to drive here to take a shower. I had to drive here to sleep. I wasn't eating, and it was full survival mode. I mean, there was times out there in the heat, in a parking lot, sick as fuck, needing a place to relax, just chill and relax, and it wasn't there. There was a certain hardness about being homeless, and I just plain out, when you get homeless, you just don't give a fuck no more. In fact, you're kind of uncontrollable, and you're kind of wild and free because you have no rules. You play with the rules of society, but there is no rules. I know my dad was in one of those homeowner things, and when we'd show up, it was an embarrassment to him. We were actually, we're homeless. I got an ex-old lady and a kid, and you could just tell a lot of that infantry instincts and that training kind of paid off during that rough time in my life. Going out hunting and shit. Yeah, get up to there and, you creep around the woods trying to kill Bambi, and Bambi just laughs at you because you miss. And, we used to like to camp out and sit in front of the fire and shit, and you just think about things. But I think there's times in your life to where if you went in the military and you fall on super hard times, like you end up being homeless, or you're put in a situation where there's somebody with a gun pointing at you and you're scared as fuck, but you have your instincts and reactions will kick in. When I went upstairs and saw the guy with the gun, everything just kind of went blank. Although I put two and two together and everything just went blank. I turned around, I just winched, getting ready to get shot, and I had so many thoughts and emotions going through my head at once, and that was the start of my PTSD. I was terrified by jumping out of the airplanes in the Army, but no, my true PTSD experience started when my mom got shot. And that PTSD, I was never the same. To this day, I still sleep with a light on. I'm terrified of the fucking dark, and sometimes, like, if I get in a tight, cramped space like an MRI machine, I start freaking the fuck out. No, I still have issues today. I'll be 60 in October. I forgot I was 20-something when Mom got shot. But no, being homeless, God, that was hard. I had this bandana, man. They used to call me Rambo. I was always thinking about The Deer Hunter, that movie The Deer Hunter, where they're sitting there playing Russian roulette and shit, and they just seemed to get out of the terrible jams. And another thing I'd had was this Nirvana tape. I'd listened to this Teen Spirit, that whole Nevermind tape. It was a tape, man. I'd throw it in my fucking T-Bird thing. I just listened to it over and over. Driving down the highway, I had this T-Bird, had all these NASCAR stickers on it and shit, and going from here to there, just trying to survive. It sucked too. There was times we were in tents outside and they wouldn't let us in the house. We had to sleep out in thunderstorms. Oh yeah, wind, rain, thunder, and it sucked. And there was a lot of times I didn't eat. I was working at a dealership. Sometimes, I swear to God, I'd take somebody's quarters out of their change. You ain't going to miss a little bit. I go down to the bogey bait machine, get a Snickers bar, and say blessing over it. Praising God, man, I got a little something to eat today. That's how bad shit got on me. So yeah, you learn some survival instincts and you develop a certain hardness in you. Again, sometimes you have to make hard decisions in your life, and God, I hate that person. God, I hate that person. I hope to God I never have to come across that person ever again, but it's there if it has to be. And it's just a certain brutality about life. And I think that the infantry will gear you, especially after you're out, for the brutality of life. You already see the brutality of the Army side, and if you're a combat vet, my blessings to you. Thank you for your service. You've seen another side of brutality. And it's funny, I can sit there and watch all, like, Dead House videos. I can watch all the blood and gore from war, but I cannot watch anybody harm an animal. Yeah, harming animals, like this new thing where these immigrants are eating the cats and ducks and shit. Awful. I also, not too long ago, thought, there'll be a day to where things get so bad, it wouldn't surprise me to where your pets end up missing because somebody ends up going hungry. Probably a little more down in the future, it'd probably be pronounced, but yeah, what a way to get elected. So I think I'm done now. Now there was another benefit to me serving, and that was with the young Marines. And I think I'm going to say that for another video because I served, it opened up a door for me to be a role model and a mentor, believe it or not. My stepdaughter was in trouble, and this was a last-ditch effort to try to get her shit straight. And it helped me gain a little redemption back. So it was like my way of giving back. So, horn salute, don't know how long this lasts. It's just, yeah, if I could see where being an infantryman paid off with my life experiences, it molded and made me who I am today and what I am. And it helped me get through some terrible times in my life. And I'm grateful for the experience that I had in the service to help me get over certain hurdles in my life. So, Horn Salute, hit that like and subscribe. I think I got maybe another story or two. See what happens. Thanks for watching.